Is my heart too broken? Do I cry too much? Am I too outspoken?
We are going across the ditch to one of our favourites. We've been speaking to her for a long time. We caught up at Tamworth, had a ball, and she has brought out a new single. She's covered a song from 18 years ago from Casey
It's incredible.
Chambers.
It's been that long. It doesn't seem that long.
And it's featuring Sharon O'Neill, and the song is called Not Pretty Enough. And we speak, of course, of the beautiful Alys Cook, and she joins us now. Ali, what was the inspiration of pulling this song out and giving it a crack?
Yeah, well, good evening. Yeah, well, basically, while I was recording my album, I did a thing called the Asquith Sessions, which is where the producers, Buzz Bidstrup and Dave Nicholas, were choosing singers and choosing songs for those singers to sing, quite famous songs, to cover them. And this song was chosen for me to actually sing as part of their Australian classic playlist that they were putting together of songs by famous Australian artists with independents recording them. And I had Sharon O'Neill there, and she sort of said, would you like me to sing on anything? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And she chose to sing on one of my originals, and then she said, I really love Casey Chambers. I said, yes, so do I. And she said, I really love that song. How about we do that together? And I went, oh, that sounds great. So that's how that sort of happened. And then we decided that we'd take 3 of those 4 covers that I did as part of the Asquith Sessions and actually put them onto my album. So the album Caught in the Middle has 9 originals and 3 covers as well, of which Not Pretty Enough is one of them.
Well, it's been a boom album for you too, Ali.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really pleased with the way things have gone. Red Dirt Road Trip, which is the first single off it's done, really well in the pre-release, which was another one of those Asquith Sessions songs. The Steal Your Love, that went quite well, and yeah, it's being really well received. It's quite a eclectic album, but I guess all 3 of my albums have been like that because I do move across the flavours from country to blues and folk, and this is not any different really, apart from the fact it's got covers on it, which is something I've never done, is cover other people's music. So it's been an interesting experience to do that.
We're talking to Alys Cook, and we're mentioning there, Ali, about your popularity in Australia. Things like Red Dirt Road Trip and other singles that you've put out have been so well received. You cover this single, and 2 weeks in, you're sitting at number 18 on this week's Country Tracks Countdown. Yeah,
very pleased with the way things have been going and how it's been going. I've been a little ill, actually. I got a little sick in Australia when I was over there, so I've sort of been a bit eye off the ball on music this week. I don't know whether you had seen that or not,
yes.
But I was hospitalised in Australia at the end of my journey and then hospitalised in New Zealand when I got back. I kind of breathed in that dust storm up in Tamworth, and it got the better of me a few days later and set in on the old lungs, but I'm slowly getting there, so nice that people have kept supporting the music while I've been hospitalised.
Darren just mentioned before, like, you're in New Zealand, but you spend so much time over here in Australia, and I know you did a lot of road tripping with the new, and I think that was in January though, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I've only really just got home a week ago, so actually I went up and opened for Gangajang up in Queensland and Sunshine Coast, and then I finished up down in Sydney, did a radio trip back down, finished up down in Sydney at the Ukulele Festival last weekend, and then came home. So it's been good, and I'll be back in June, July, going right up through the Red Centre with Uncle Jimmy Thumbs Up, working with Indigenous kids. So I'm going to be up through Mitajulu and through Alice Springs and right up to Darwin.
Oh, I was about to say, like, you've had such a massive 2019. How are you going to top that for 2020?
Yeah, well, I'm coming back and doing that. So it's always great to get out into the Red Centre of Australia because I do love it out there.
Does that bring a whole new difference to your songwriting when you're out there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm really inspired by out there. So it's sort of, I always find it inspirational. It's just the, ancientness and the spirituality of the land. I really love it out there, and connecting with, with the Indigenous people as well out there. I just love that.
Now, if people want to track down Alys Cook, find out where you're going to be, where they're going to hold you in music, what's the best way for them to do that?
Or through my website, alyscook.com.au, so alyscook.com.au, or on Facebook or on Twitter or Instagram, but /Alys Cook Music for Facebook, and I'm always on there.
Well, folks, we're going to sit back and enjoy this now. This is Ali Cook featuring Sharon O'Neill and their version of Not Pretty Enough.